Okay. One thing that's kind of messed up that I don't think I've ever said into a video and posted. Maybe I've said it but not posted it. And if it was posted, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I went to the psych unit for the very first time in 2019 in November. And there was like 3 days where I felt like, oh, my husband knows I'm talking into my phone, so he's watching me now, judging me. Anyway, so there were 3 days where it was like I felt really messed up, and I asked to go to the hospital. I asked my husband actually to stay home from work that day for the second day in a row, and he said he couldn't call off work again, and I said, okay, take me to the hospital and call somebody to watch our daughter. And he did, and I went to the hospital, and they didn't know it was wrong. I didn't ask to go to the psych unit, I asked to go to the hospital because I was having sensory problems where my vision was off, and they were saying it was hallucinations, but we never really actually had a clear communication between me and the doctors, so um my husband and I were fighting, and then we started getting along right before I went to the psych unit the first time. And I found a clear patch on my ankle, but that has not much to do with what I want to say. What I want to say is that for some reason I was getting feelings about, like, that whole summer I was getting clown synchronicities, and then I went to the psych unit November 2019, and then in April of 2021 is when the police officer, the first time I ever went to jail was for 24 hours. That police officer started playing John Wayne Gacy videos, and I saw him typing, and then he left the room, and then a John Wayne Gacy documentary started to play. So for all I know, he typed it in and it started to play, or he typed it in, somebody in a third party app or whatever changed it to John Wayne Gacy documentary. I don't know. Either way, I don't know why the police officer would have played that, because that was 2019 was the weird clown thing, and I never asked for the clown thing. My mom started talking to me about clowns, and then clowns started popping up all over my algorithm. And so the point that I wanted to make when I started recording this was that 3 days before I went into the hospital the first time, the psych unit the first time, we had just gotten a new shower rod hanger thing, and I kept getting weird vibes about a police officer and like a crooked police officer. And I set into my phone in like September. This was November. I set into my phone in like September while I was doing yoga and meditating. I didn't even say it into my phone, I just said it in my house. I said, there's a crooked cop behind you. It's one of the clowns. Because my phone algorithm was responding to things that I was saying, and I assumed that it was somebody listening to me through the microphone. And then I looked at my phone, and then my phone algorithm had sent me the Pulp Fiction basement scene. And I was like, that's weird. And then anyway, that's crazy, right? So, whatever. I went to the psych unit in November, but the 3 days before I went to the psych unit, it was like I kept having these weird feelings about all of these police officers ganging up on one police officer, and then one police officer being framed for a mass crime or something. And I had no idea who Jeffrey Epstein was until I got out of the psych unit for the very first time. And then after I got out of Havenwick in 2019 in November was when the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing was kind of like breaking. And I remember the shower rod and me looking at my husband and saying, because I thought he was one of the police officers for some reason, and I was looking at my husband and I said, don't do the shower rod thing. And he was like, what? Because I was crazy, whatever. Crazy. I'm crazy. And so I said, don't do the shower rod thing. And he was like, what? And then the shower rod fell off of when we had just hung it up, but it was new, so that kind of is like, what a coincidence. But then my mom came to my house and started yelling at me about the shower rod, about how I needed to fix it and pick it up. So I started yelling back at her, and then I started playing Crimson and Clover really loud on the TV, on the Fire Stick. And I was like, get out of my house! And I started playing Crimson and Clover, so it's just me screaming, get out of my house. And it's like, ah, and I'm like, get out of my house! And I don't hardly know, get out! Yeah. Well, anyway, so I went to the hospital for 9 days that time. But all I kept thinking about were the crickets in our backyard when I was growing up, and I don't know. I don't know, dude. I am crazy, but there's more to it than just an observer's opinion, and I feel like if somebody were to sit down and have a conversation with me for a long time, it wouldn't be just circumstance and situation. Or my husband looking at me through the blinds, judging me because I'm recording a video sharing how crazy I am with strangers. My battery's gonna die.